वो भी मिल जाएगा, बाद में देख लेना तुम, ठीक है. So the next one is okay. Which one of the following relations are functions? If it is a function, define or determine its domain and range. Which of this is miscellaneous exercise 2? Which of the following are functions? Okay, so we are not given the domain, we are not given on what it has been defined. So with whatever it is given, we will check whether it's a function or not. So if you see the first one, it has elements. The only option we have is to check whether any number is repeating or not. So ये 2 है, 4 है, 6 है, 8 है, 10 है, 12 and 14. It looks like the set A belongs to the set of all even numbers. क्या? बाद में. Okay. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. So we'll assume that it is all only one time. That means this has to be a function. They have not given us the set A. Probably दिया भी रहेगा, पता नहीं मुझे. They have not given us what is A. They have not given us what is B also. But anyways, we have B is half of it. Yeah. But वो पूरा सेट दिया नहीं है ना, बिकॉज वो पूरे इवन नंबर्स है, लेस देन 14 है, मोर देन 14 है, पता नहीं है. विल अज्यूम इतने ही नंबर्स थे. सो व्हाट इज द डोमेन? व्हाट इज द डोमेन ऑफ दिस सेट? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12 and 14. Be quiet. So the domain of this set is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. So that's the domain. What will be its range? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. So write it. Domain is 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. Range is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Second problem. So is it a function? We have to check. Again, we don't know the first set, we don't know the second set. So what we see is 0, then 1, and again 1 is repeating. 4 is also repeating. 9 is also there. And 16 is also repeating. So ये function कौन सा हो गया? Actually function नहीं है. Rule क्या हो गया ये? Y is equal to root x. Correct ना? Root of 0 is 0. Root of 1 is plus 1 and minus 1. यानी कि इधर जो elements है set A में कौन से elements है actually? 1 and then 4 and 9 and 16. And on this side you have the roots, which is plus minus 1, plus minus 2, plus minus 3 and plus minus 4. So is this a function? This is not a function. Not a function. You have वही reason जो पहले दे रहे थे हम लोग. 1 is repeating. So element 1 has 2 images. Element 1, 4, 9 and 16 have 2 images. So it's not a function. So if it's not a function, don't write its domain and range. लिखने की जरूरत नहीं है. तो वो लोग ने बोला है if it is a function, determine its domain and range. इसका domain and range रहता है because it's a relation. Relation है इसीलिए इसका domain है, which is basically 1, 4, 9, 16. The range is plus minus 1, plus minus 2, plus minus 3, plus minus 4. ये इसका range है. So there is domain, there is range, but this is not a function. So you're not supposed to write the domain and range. ठीक है? If it was just a relation, yes, there is the case, right? Then this one, third one, is it a function? 1, 3 and 5. 1 is coming only one time, 3 is coming only one time, 5 also one time. That means it is a function. इसका domain क्या आएगा? 1, 3, 5, and range is 1 and 2. Range is 1 and 2, the second elements 1 and 2. Is that okay? So by 20th of this month we should be having one more test. We have to take. तुम्हारे 1 तारीख तक और एक टेस्ट लेंगे 20 से, तो फिर 19 को रख लेंगे टेस्ट. हाँ? No, we have to keep test. चलेगा 17 को रख लेंगे. 7 कभी 20 तारीख से ना, देन 18 से हो रहे. तुम्हारा सिलेबस कवर हो गया? हाँ, तो तुम है वो तो क्यों बात कर रहे हो फिर? बाइबिलेट हो जाएगा ऑलमोस्ट एक दिन में खत्म हो जाएगा. Okay, this problem we'll do little later. This problem, second one, because you have to show f is 1, 1 and onto function, so it requires some other information, so we'll do it later on. Okay? Then this third one, a function f is defined as follows. F of, can you be quiet? A function f is defined as follows. F of x is 4x plus 5 minus 4 is less than or equal to x is less than 0. You have to find the values of f of minus 1, f of minus 2, f of 0 if they exist. So the first value you have to find is f of minus 1. F of x is defined as 4x plus 5. And the intervals are between minus 4 to 0. As long as x is between minus 4 to 0, the function is defined as f of x is equal to 4x plus 5. You are supposed to find f of minus 1. So can we find f of minus 1? The answer is yes, because minus 1 lies in this interval. Minus 1 lies in the interval minus 4 to 0. So we can find it. So it is 4 into minus 1 plus 5, which is minus 4 plus 5, which is equal to 1. So ये पहला problem हो गया. Second one is f of minus 2. This one also, f of minus 2 does belong to the interval minus 4 to 0. See the way I am writing the intervals. Set relations functions में किया था intervals. Closed interval minus 4, open interval 0. Because x can be equal to minus 4, but it is always going to be less than 0. So it belongs to this. So I can find the value. It's going to be 4 into minus 2 plus 5, which is minus 8 plus 5, which is minus 3. Okay. Third is f of 0. F of 0, 0 does not belong to the interval minus 4, 0. Or you can say 0 does not belong to minus 4 is less than or equal to x is less than 0. So f of 0 is not defined, or it does not exist. Okay, make sure you remember all these things. नहीं तो f of 0 बोला है ढूंढ के आ जाएंगे 4 into 0 plus 5, 5 आंसर आ जाएगा, बट वो डिफाइंड ही नहीं है. तुम्हारा क्या है, चांद से आए, मार्स से आए, कॉलेज से आए, वेरी गुड, एक ही बात है. मार्स से आए और कॉलेज से आए एक ही चीज रहती है. मॉडर्न कॉलेज में जब आते हैं उधर से तो आदमी मार्स से आए से लगते हैं. I was there in modern, that's why. Okay. So the fourth problem. The fourth problem, f of x is equal to 5 minus x. F of x is equal to 5 minus x. Under the condition 0 is less than or equal to x is less than or equal to 4. You have to find the value of x such that f of x is equal to 3. F of x is equal to 3. This is which problem? Fifth one, na? F of x is equal to 3. Fourth problem, okay. F of x is equal to 3. That means this implies 5 minus x is equal to 3. F of x का value क्या है? 5 minus x. But f of x का value दिया है 3. दोनों चीजें. So it is 5 minus x is equal to 3. This implies 5 minus 3 is equal to x, and this implies x is equal to 2, which belongs to the interval 0, 4, closed interval. अगर लिखते हो ऐसा तो it should be closed interval. Or you can write 2 belongs to the case 0 is less than or equal to x is less than or equal to 4. Generally ऐसे लिखते नहीं है. Okay, this is not written, but I am just giving you as a scope. Okay, या ज़्यादा confusion हो गया तो ये भी मत लिखो, ये भी मत लिखो. X is equal to 2. ठीक है? Detailing is you have to write, but confusion में don't write. Because if you write wrong, they'll cut your marks. If you don't write, they may not recognize. That's sometimes possible. Details कभी कभी है ना, तुमने लिखे नहीं तो प्रॉब्लम ज़्यादा होता नहीं है, बट गलत डिटेल दे दिया तो फिर पकड़ लेते ये गलत है. ठीक है? So if you can't remember this, ये क्या लिखना है, it's okay, you don't write this part, belongs to 0 to 4. Okay? So remember this points. Next one. You're given f of x is equal to 3x square minus 5x plus 7. F of x is equal to 3x square minus 5x plus 7. The question is find f of x minus 1. So find it. We did this problem last time, similar problems. Okay, so what is f of x? Okay, so this will be 3 into x minus 1 the whole square minus 5 into x minus 1 plus 7, which is equal to 3 into x square minus 2x plus 1 minus 5x plus 5 plus 7. is area. 3x square minus 6x plus 3 minus 5x plus 12, which is equal to 3x square minus 11x plus 15. ये कभी कभी दो मार्क को आ सकते हैं. Easy questions, 2 marks. Don't lose this marks. Next is f of x is equal to 3x plus a. Sixth, f of x is equal to 3x plus a. F of 1 is 7. You have to find a and f of 4. ये दो चीज ढूंढना है. So solution, f of x is equal to 3x plus a, and f of 1 will be how much? 3 into 1 plus a. Correct ना? f of 1 क्या रहेगा? 3 into 1 plus a. But f of 1 is given to us as 7. So 7 is equal to 3 plus a. Therefore, a is going to be 7 minus 3, which is equal to 4. So now the only thing is we'll call this above equation 1. This one we will call as 2, and then substituting from 2 in 1 we get f of x is equal to 3x plus 4. Equation 3. तो हमारे पास f of x आ गया. एक आंसर आ गया ऑलरेडी, which is a. ठीक है. Now the second one, f of 4 चाहिए. So therefore f of 4 is 3 into 4 plus 4, which is equal to 12 plus 4, which is equal to 16. Done. Okay, easy questions. So the next problem, f of x is equal to ax square plus bx plus 2. Further you are given f of 1 is 3, f of 4 is 42. So this is equation 1, equation 2, equation 3. So we will have f of x is ax square plus bx plus 2. Therefore f of 1 is equal to a into 1 square plus b into 1 plus 2. So f of 1 is a into 1 square plus b into 1 plus 2, which is equal to a plus b plus 2. But f of 1 is given as 3. So 3 is equal to a plus b plus 2. This implies a plus b is equal to 3 minus 2, and therefore a plus b is equal to 1. That's equation 4. Next, f of 4. f of 4 कितना रहेगा? a into 4 square plus b into 4 plus 2. But f of 4 कितना दिया है? 42 is equal to 16a plus 4b plus 2. Therefore, 16a plus 4b is equal to 42 minus 2. Therefore, 16a plus 4b is equal to 40. And therefore, 4a plus b is equal to 10. Reason? Dividing by 4. And we can call this as equation 5. So हमारे पास दो equations है. Okay. And the other equation is this one. So solve them and get the values of a and b. Easiest way to solve them would be 5 minus 4. So you get 4a minus a, which is 3a, is equal to 9. And therefore a is equal to 3. Substituting a is equal to 3 in which equation? 4. You get 3 plus b is equal to 1, and therefore b is 1 minus 3, and therefore b is equal to minus 2. Therefore a is 3, b is minus 2. Answer. Done? Okay, now these are little harder problems. Let's do them. Only two problems which are little difficult. F of x is equal to 2x minus 1 upon 5x minus 2. X minus 1 upon 5x minus 2. X is not equal to 2 by 5. You have to show that f of x is equal to x. To prove that, so proof, let's start this. F of x So f of x is f of x. So this is going to be equal to f of x is 2x minus 1 upon 5x minus 2. Now pay attention. हमारा प्रिंसिपल क्या रहता है? लाइक सपोज f of x was given to me, say 2x minus 1 upon 5x minus 2, ये दिया है. If I want to find f of 10, what should I do? Substitute x is equal to 10, right? So this is going to be 2 into 10 minus 1 upon 5 into 10 minus 2. If I want to find f of abracadabra, then what will be the answer? 2 into abracadabra, right? Minus 1 upon 5 into abracadabra minus 2. That's what you're going to get, right? If I want to find f of Naman, it's going to be 2 into Naman minus 1, यानी कि एक Naman, divided by 5 into Naman minus 2, यानी कि 3 Naman. So 1/3 Naman हो गया. प्रेजेंस ऑफ माइंड जितना है क्लास में उसके बारे में बात करें. अंडरस्टैंडिंग? ओके. सो इफ दिस इज ट्रू, then if I want to find f of 2x minus 1 upon 5x minus 2, then I am going to replace x with 2x minus 1 upon 5x minus 2. Rule is what? 2x minus 1 upon 5x minus 2. So I'll just do one thing. I'll get it on the other side. उधर कचरा हो जाएगा थोड़ा सा. Okay. So this is equal to, at present I require many things over here. Okay, so now pay attention. This is the function. ये जो है, this is the function, and the x over here has to be replaced by 2x minus 1 upon 5x minus 2. So the function is 2x minus 1 upon 5x minus 2, and in that function x has to be replaced with 2x minus 1 upon 5x minus 2. So ये जो 2 है स्टार्टिंग का, this 2, ये अभी कलर होगा नहीं होगा पता नहीं मुझे, आएगा नहीं आएगा. ग्रीन है ना, सो कौन का नहीं आता, छोड़ दो. ओके, सो यू हैव 2 into ये x के जगह पे, instead of this x, I will have 2x minus 1 upon 5x minus 2 minus 1. Then 5 into, this is again x will be replaced with 2x minus 1 upon 5x minus 2 minus 2, which is equal to, now it's solving. अभी बाकी कुछ नहीं है. Now this is just to be solved. So this is 2 into, I'll take it more below, या तो ये क्या है तो confusion हो जाएगा. So this is equal to, so this is 2 into 2x minus 1 into 5x minus 2 divided by 5x minus 2, and this one is 5 into 2x minus 1 minus 2 into 5x minus 2 divided by 5x minus 2. इसका LCM ले लिया, right? Now we can cancel 5x minus 2 and 5x minus 2. This can be cancelled, and the reason we can cancel it, this is better na, going horizontal. Okay. The reason we can cancel this is because x is not equal to 2 by 5. Okay? Shh, be quiet. The reason we can cancel this is because x is not equal to 2 by 5. If x would have been equal to 2 by 5, 5x minus 2 would have been 0. Okay, and you cannot cancel zeros. In mathematics, you cannot cancel zeros. So 5x minus 2 can be cancelled provided you know that 5x minus 2 is not equal to 0. And they had given us x is not equal to 2 by 5. That means 5x minus 2 is not equal to 0. So वो cancel कर सकते हैं. So this is equal to. So this becomes 2 into 2x, that is 4x, minus 2 minus 5x plus 2 divided by 10x minus 5 minus 10x plus 4. Which is equal to, so 4x minus 2 and plus 2 cancels. 4x minus 5x is minus x. Here 10x and minus 10x cancels. Minus 5 plus 4 is minus 1. Minus and minus sign will cancel and you will be left with x. So FOF of x is equal to x. Proved. ठीक है? So now the next problem, last problem of this chapter. नहीं उल्टा मैं 11:30 तक का प्लान चल रहा है मेरा. क्या क्या अटेंड करना है? What? 3 plus 5x upon 3 plus 5x, and this is g of x. Question is FOG of x. So find FOG of x. You have to prove this. FOG of x is f of g of x, which is equal to f of g of x is how much? 3 plus 5x upon 4x minus 1, which is equal to. So now what you should do? So in the definition of f of x, okay, in the definition of f of x, you are going to write, instead of x, 3 plus 5x upon 4x minus 1. So instead of this x will come 3 plus 5x upon 4x minus 1 minus 3 divided by 4 into 3 plus 5x upon 4x minus 1 minus 5. Okay? Now it's all normal solving. So this is going to be equal to 3 plus 5x minus 3 into 4x minus 1 upon 4x minus 1. 4 into 3 plus 5x minus 5 into 4x minus 1 upon 4x minus 1. Again 4x minus 1 can be cancelled, and they must have given us x is not equal to 1 by 4. दिया है? नहीं दिया इधर, but it's understood. ठीक है? इधर दिया नहीं है. They should have given. So we can say x is not equal to 1 by 4. So this becomes equal to 3 plus 5x minus 12x plus 3. 4 into 3 is 12 plus 20x minus 20x plus 5. Okay. कुछ तो गलत हो गया ना? Is it 4x minus 1 or 4x plus 1? Three plus 5x upon 4x minus 5, x plus 3 upon 4x minus 5, x plus 3. ये प्लस है इधर. Make this correction. This is plus over here. So this is also plus, and this will be plus 12x, and this will be changed to minus. Okay. So now plus 3 and minus 3 will cancel. 5x plus 12x is 17x divided by 20x. 20x cancels. 12 plus 5 is 17, which is equal to x. So FOG of x is equal to x. Okay. Now that inverse function. Before that, we'll just check what is a 1-1 function. So we have seen what is 1-1 relation. याद है? 1-1 relation किया था हमने. याद है? 1-1 relation. So 1-1 function is same as 1-1 relation. The only difference is it's a function now. Okay. So what is a 1-1 function? What is a 1-1 function? Every element has one image, and every pre-image also has only one image. So like this is a 1-1 function. Okay. Whereas if you consider this function, in this case, this is not a 1-1. Okay? Set B में नो प्री इमेज इधर दो है उल्टा. Okay, this element over here in set B has two pre-images, so it's not a 1-1 function. So image and pre-image should be only one. It is a function. ये function है, but it is not 1-1. Okay, it's not a 1-1 function. This is a 1-1 function. बाद में तुमको यही प्रॉब्लम ज्यादा आएगा. 1-1 function. This is not a 1-1 function. The difference is, in this case, the second set में, in the second diagram, you have the element in B. There is an element in B which has two pre-images. Okay, this element is an image. Right? This is an image. Whereas these are the two pre-images. Okay, these are called as the pre-images. So a function is 1-1 if image and pre-image are unique. एक ही इमेज है और उसका प्री इमेज एक ही है, then it is a 1-1 function. Provided it's a 1-1, it's a function. So पहले चीज तुमको देखना पड़ेगा वो फंक्शन है या नहीं. फंक्शन होने के बाद you'll have to check whether it's a 1-1 function or not a 1-1 function. ठीक है? Understanding? So if they give you a set like this, say 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5, then is this a 1-1 function? Will it be a 1-1 function? Yes, because one has only one image, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 5. Unique images here. Okay? So this is a 1-1 function. But suppose you consider something like this: 1, 2, 2, 2, 3, 1, 4, 1. So it's not a 1-1 function. So if you see the second elements, okay, they are repeating 2 times. Here also, they are repeating more than 1 time. So it's not a 1-1 function. Okay? Right. Next we go with is onto function. Okay. Now, is this a function? Is the diagram a function? Does it represent a function? Does this diagram represent a function? Yes. Okay. Is it 1-1? No, it's not 1-1. Okay, but it is a function. But this function, can you see any element in B? No element in B is left out. Okay? Or we say, technical language will be, there is no element in B which does not have a pre-image in A. The technical language would be, no element in B has a pre-image, does not have a pre-image in A. So हर एक element का pre-image है. So first element, this element has a pre-image. This element has a pre-image. Even so, this one has 2 pre-images, but it has. This element has 1 pre-image. This element has only 1 pre-image. So every element in B has at least one pre-image in A. In simple language, no element in B is left out. Okay. When a function is of this type, it's called as an onto function. Okay. It's called as an onto function. In other words, what happens in this function is the range of this function is equal to the codomain of the function. Okay, range happens to be equal to codomain. You remember the set A, say for a function, set A is entire domain. Entire domain is set A. Otherwise it won't be a function. अगर एक भी एलिमेंट उसमें से रह गया A में से तो फंक्शन ही नहीं रहेगा. So the domain is entire set A. Whether it's a function or a relation, codomain is always range. Codomain is set B. B is always the codomain, right? तो वो तो रहने वाला है. But ये जो function है, इसमें क्या हो रहा है? Range is also equal to the codomain of the set. That is equal to B. Range covers entire set B. So it's like, you know, it's like a cloud cover. It's covering over the entire set B. So it's onto B. Okay? So you can imagine it's like an onto B. Onto means उसके ऊपर आके ऐसा रुक गया. Okay? So that's covering. Like an umbrella, it's covering you all over. That's called as an onto function. Okay? Now, let's take another case. Okay. Now, in this case, the second case, pay attention. The second case, is it a function? Why? It is a function. It is a function. Every element in set A has an image in set B. Okay. Second condition, every image is unique. First element को एक image है, second को एक है, third को एक है, fourth को एक है, fifth को एक है. So it is a function. Is it 1-1? It is 1-1 also. This function is 1-1 also. Okay? But you can see two elements. Can you be quiet? Don't make me change the tone of my voice. So this one, these two elements, okay, these two elements are left out over here. They do not have any pre-images. Okay, they do not have any pre-image in set A, so they are left out. Hence, this function is called as an into function. Okay, इसको बोलते हैं into function. Right now, this function is 1-1 into. ये function at present is 1-1 into. It is a 1-1 function. It's a function. It is 1-1 function. It is also into function. So that's why it's called as 1-1 into. The previous function will be called as 1-1 onto. It is a 1-1 function and it is onto. When a function is not 1-1, we say it's many one. We wrote only not 1-1 ना. हम लोग ने सिर्फ not 1-1 लिखा. उसको बोलते हैं many one function. Understanding? So you can have functions which are many one into, many one onto. So you can have this combinations. 1-1 onto, 1-1 into. Many one onto, many one into. Okay? So you can have those functions. So we'll see an example of many one into. Okay. So if you see this function, Is it a function? Every element, every time, whenever they say na, in general, because even for CA foundation, when these things come, you have to first check whether it's a function or not. कोई कोई लोग टिक मार्क कर डालते हैं 1 1 into है 1 1 something like that, but वो function ही नहीं रहता है, and then they get into trouble. So the thing is, you have to first check whether it's a 1 1 function or not. Or first whether it's a function or not. Every element in set A has an image in set B, right? The images are unique, so it is a function. Is it 1 1? No, it's not, because there are two elements which have same image, so it is not a 1 1 function. That means it's a many one function. Then you come to the next point, whether it's onto or into. So if you see, there are two elements in set B that have been left out. That means it's an into function. So this becomes a many one into function. Understood till here? I am not going into technical things associated with this. तुमको डायग्राम पे ही समझा रहा हूँ, because very unlikely they'll ask you all this question whether it's 1 1 and all. We'll see few problems. It's not that we won't. Okay, ये many one into function हो गया. Now, what is an inverse function? What is an inverse function? So suppose you have a function, there is a function that's defined, say from this set to this set. Okay? If you have a function which is defined from set A to set B. So this is set A, this is set B. So let's imagine that there is a function which is defined from set A to set B. If you can use this function and retrace its values back again, if you can retrace the values back again, say let's call it as G, retrace जब कर रहे, so let's imagine if it's some function G, and this G also is a function, उल्टा direction से, B to A. Suppose we have defined the rule as from B to A. If that also remains a function, if G also remains a function from B to A, if this remains a function, then this is called as the inverse of f. G is called as the inverse of the function f, and it is written as f raised to minus 1. So it's not 1 upon f. Okay, f raised to minus 1 लिखा है, that's true, but that does not mean it's 1 upon f. उसका notation है inverse function का, inverse direction में, opposite direction में, from A to B, that is normal function, from B to A it is inverse function, provided it is a function. Okay, now there are times when you go in the opposite direction, it may not remain a function, and we can see right above we have done that example. Let's see this very same example. अगर मुझे ये अभी A to B ये function था, correct? We know this was a function from A to B, right? This was a function. F was a function from A to B. What about B to A? So I'll draw this A over here once again. कितने elements थे? 1, 2, 3 and 4. And now see this. The first element, इसको जरा brackets में लिख देता हूँ मैं, ताकि you don't confuse it. Now see this. I'll just take this like this. B to the first element, and this is to the second element, and this element was anyways kept empty, and this one is here, and this one is here. Now, if you see this one, ये फंक्शन अभी तुम देखो, अगर B से A की तरफ जाऊंगा मैं, is this a function? If you go from B to A, is it a function? No. Correct? It's not a function. It was a function from A to B. जो हम लोग ने पहले ड्रॉ किया था, A to B, it was a function. from B to A, it's not even a function, right? So in this case, inverse does not exist. Okay, ये इसमें inverse exist नहीं होता है, because you have a function from A to B, but you cannot define it in opposite direction from B to A, so it's not a function. तो अगर वो function नहीं है तो उसका inverse भी exist नहीं करता है. Okay? Remember which kind of function it was. कौन सा type का function था? Many one into function. That is important for us. It was many one into function. उसका inverse नहीं आता है. ठीक है? Let's check this one. This one. Now you tell me whether the opposite direction, if you go, will it be a function? It won't be. Why? Because these two elements will be left out. ये दो elements उस तरफ जा रहे ही नहीं है. Correct ना? They should go in the other direction also. They are not going. So the domain set has been kept empty. Two elements in the domain are left out. So it's not a function. When it goes in that direction, even this is not a function. So ये कौन सा type का function था? 1-1 into function. And 1-1 into function also does not have an inverse. Does not have inverse. ठीक है? Let's check this function. It was 1-1 into. Okay, remember. Now, in this case, if you check for this diagram, now if you go in the opposite direction, is it a function? If you go in the opposite direction, will it be a function? No. Because see this element, it will have two images. Correct? उसको दो images आ जाएंगे. So it's not a function. In the direction B to A, it will not have unique images. Images है, सबको images है, but the images won't be unique because it will have two images. So that means even this one is not going to have an inverse. No inverse. Okay, it was an onto function. It was, but a many one onto function. Remember this. It was many one onto function. So many one into no inverse. 1-1 into no inverse. Many one onto no inverse. Now let's check an example of 1-1 onto. वो एक ही बचा है ना? बचा भी एक ही 1-1 onto. Okay. So this one is 1-1 function as well as onto it is. अभी इसका inverse exist होता है? It will exist because in the opposite direction only one image. Correct? All the elements have an image plus the images are unique. So this will have a inverse function. Okay? So we get this notation inverse exists. In this case, what we recognize is a inverse function exists if and only if the function is 1-1 and onto. Okay? Unless the function is 1-1 and onto, the inverse does not exist. Okay? So just write one line. Now I know most of you didn't understand major things over here. I can't help it because वो है ही वैसा चीज. Okay? So inverse function f inverse from B to A exists if and only if f as a function from A to B is 1-1 and onto. Now for those who didn't understand, your option is again see the video or come and ask, or the third option is just remember that a function has inverse if it is 1-1 and onto, because ये आया तो fill in the blanks के लिए आएगा. A function f inverse exists if it is 1-1 and onto. You can get some other questions also where you have to check. Now that part I will teach someday only to those who are interested. Okay, because तुम ऐसे बैठोगे कुछ भी नहीं समझ में आएगा. How to check whether a function is 1 1 and on 2 and so on. Out of that 1 1 part we can do right now. Okay, so we'll see how to check whether a function is 1 1. Check for 1 1. So suppose f of x1 is equal to f of x2. For x1 not equal to x2. Okay, if solution is x, no, I won't write for x1, sorry, this one. If the solution is x1 is equal to x2 only, if this is the only solution, then the function is 1 1. Okay, suppose we have f of x1 is equal to f of x2. हमको एक कोई तो फंक्शन दिया है, रूल दिया है, and we solve it and we get the solution of that equation as x1 is equal to x2 only, और कोई solution मिल नहीं रहा है, then we say f is 1 1. Okay, why it is done so I'll explain you, not now. Let's do 2-3 problems and let's see this. So you're given f of x is equal to say 3x plus 5. Okay, check if f is 1 1. This is all for that one problem we have left. एक प्रॉब्लम छोड़ दिया था ना एक्सरसाइज में, this उसके लिए पूरा मेहनत चल रहा है. Otherwise you'll think why am I doing this after finishing the chapter? It's for that one problem. Okay. So f is 1 1 है कि नहीं हमको चेक करना है. So what we will say is, let f of x1 is equal to f of x2. Let this happen and we will solve this equation. So therefore 3x1 plus 5 is equal to 3x2 plus 5. Naturally plus 5 will cancel. Therefore 3x1 is equal to 3x2. So 3 and 3 will also cancel. Therefore x1 is equal to x2 is the only solution. Okay? Therefore f is 1 1. Why it happens I'll explain you. हाँ अगर आया तो वो एक ही क्वेश्चन है. That is the only one question. So for that, CBSE को पूरा चैप्टर है functions in detail, 11th standard. Okay. For science तो है, so you have to go in much detail over there. Right now, I don't have to do much detailing work. Check for f of x is equal to 15x plus 2. Solve this problem. 15x plus 2. Determine whether it is 1 1 or not. Determine whether it is 1 1 or not. Which other chapters we have to do now? Bivariate. And determinants for this person. वो वीडियो देखना शुरू करो जरा, डिटरमिनेंट्स का चालू करो. एक देखा, गुड. Solve this fast. You have to check whether it's 1 1 or not. उसके लिए क्या करोगे? f of x1 is equal to f of x2. Anushka, Anvesha and all those people over there, either first bench, कितना बात करेंगे? 15x1 plus 2 is equal to 15x2 plus 2. So therefore this 2 and 2 cancels. 15x1 is equal to 15x2, and therefore x1 is equal to x2. This implies f is 1 1. Third one, f of x is equal to x square minus 5x plus 6. F of x is equal to x square minus 5x plus 6. Sometimes you might get such questions. Check whether it's 1 1 or not. 1 mark ke liye rahega. Very simple questions. No problem. So f of x1 is equal to f of x2. Therefore what you'll get? x1 square minus 5x1 plus 6 is equal to x2 square minus 5x2 plus 6. Plus 6 cancels. Therefore x1 square minus x2 square is equal to 5x1 minus 5x2. So therefore x1 minus x2 into x1 plus x2 is 5 into x1 minus x2. And so therefore this will cancel, because we are obviously saying x1 is not equal to x2 is our hope. And so x1 plus x2 is equal to 5. So what we are getting is x1 is equal to 5 minus x2. Are we getting the solution x1 is equal to x2? No. So it's not a 1-1 function. Okay, so it's many one. Now ये जो functions हमने किए अभी 2-3. First one क्या था? What was the first one? F of x is 3x plus 5, na something, right? F of x was 3x plus 5. So if you draw this one's graph, okay. So if you draw this one's graph, let's imagine this point is 0, 5. This line, this is a linear equation in x and y. It will represent a line. Somewhat the line will be like this. Okay, it may not be exact, but somewhat the line will be like this, right? So this is the graph of the function. F of x is equal to 3x plus 5. उसका ये graph है. Now from the graph also you can come to know whether the function is 1-1 or not. For that what you have to do is, you have to draw lines perpendicular to x-axis. Okay. So if you draw the lines perpendicular to x-axis like this, what you see is that these lines intersect the graph in only one point. Correct? All these lines, the vertical lines, they intersect the graph in only one point. And if they're intersecting in only one point, that means it's a 1-1 function. यानी कि हर x का value एक ही है. This one has only one value. This x has only one value. Okay? There is no other x which has the same value. That's what it means. So in this case, you can know it from the graph whether the function is 1-1 or not. Same thing goes for the second problem, 15x plus 5 or straight line ही था. So it will also be a 1-1 function. Okay. The third one I gave you was f of x is equal to x square minus 5x plus 6. Okay, now this graph, the graph of this function, the graph of this function, it's a quadratic equation, so the graph of this function will be somewhat like this. Okay, the graph of this function will be somewhat like this. Now, yeah, it's a parabola. Now, if you draw a line, if you draw lines which are like this, or I'll rather go by another test which is more easy. What I'll do is, instead of taking this test, we'll draw the lines parallel to x-axis. Okay, we'll draw lines parallel to x-axis. Now you can see these lines are intersecting the graph in 2 points. Correct? You can see these lines, they are intersecting the graph in 2 points. That means for 2 values of x, for 2 values of x, whatever this value, suppose this is minus 2 and this will be plus 2 or plus 5. So the value for plus 5 is the same value as you have for minus 2. These values are same. ये y coordinates same रहेंगे. So this is like 5, 10. This will be minus 2, 10. So the value for x equal to minus 2 is 10. The value for 5 is 10. That means if you see the domain, you have minus 2 and 5. दोनों का values 10 आ रहा है. Okay. Minus 2 का value 10, 5 का value भी 10. That means it's an indicating it's not a 1-1 function. So from the graph you can determine whether a function is 1-1 or not by drawing lines parallel to x-axis. That will be easier than doing the perpendicular part. Okay? So if you draw the lines parallel to x-axis, and if the graph is intersected in 2 or more points, then in that case we say that the function is not 1-1. But अगर वो एक ही intersect हो रहा है, so it is a 1-1 function. Now that does not mean every parabola has to have a 1-1 or is not a 1-1 function. If you have a parabola like this, which is of the form y square is equal to 4ax, then in this case, if you draw this, it intersects the graph in only 1 point. Okay? So in this case it is a 1-1 function. Okay? This is a 1-1 function. Understanding? This is extra information. It's not there in your book. I just gave you. Next time we'll just in 10 minutes, next class, in 10 minutes we will cover up what is onto function. How to check whether a function is onto. Only 2 examples. I am not taking more. And we will be starting with bivariate frequency table. Okay? So that's all for today. I'll see you on Saturday.